Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Press Play Lifestyle Inspired podcast, where we do interviews with interesting and inspiring people like our new friend John to help our listeners find the resources, tools, and support they need to be their best inspired selves. How are you doing today, John?
I am doing exceptionally well. I'm here in Las Vegas on my way to a dental appointment, which we all look forward to, don't we?
Yeah, it's the highlight of my life is going in and having them drill something out of my mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you live in Vegas? Is that where you guys are?
Well, we live right outside of Las Vegas. It's a little town called Pahrump.
About an hour away.
It's an hour west, and we live on a ranch with chickens
Oh,
and turtles and goats and what else? Peacocks, dogs, cats. You know,
that sounds great. So how long have you guys lived out on the ranch out there?
a little over 4 years. You know, a little 4 years. We moved out of LA, and that was a big change for us. You know,
I
unfortunately,
bet.
when Pepper's father passed away, Pepper said, I just don't think we need to live here anymore. And I said, okay. So we looked for a place. We found this ranch, and I tell you, it was the best thing moving out of LA, as far as creatively. What helped us tremendously.
Yeah, I was literally just you must read my mind. I was going to ask you, how did moving out of the hustle and bustle of LA into the country, how might that affect your music and your music career? It must have been easier to access like producers and stuff in the bigger city, but more creative in the country, or how's that work for
Oh,
you?
absolutely. Well, years ago, I used to tour the country performing and singing songs. And I came home one day and I said, Pepper, I'm done. I'm done touring. I'm done singing. I'm done with music. I've
Oh,
done it my whole life. And she said, okay. And several years went by. And she came in and I was in the living room. She says, why don't you do your own songs? You've written in the past, but do your own songs. And I thought, that could be something I could get into. But it wasn't until we moved out of LA, when you're on the ranch and you have no distractions and you're surrounded by beautiful mountains and snow and it's just gorgeous, clean air, quiet, all of a sudden you tap into this wonderful creativity, and the songs that you listen to all came from that inspiration of being on the ranch. you
yeah, I
know
was I was just listening to the signal that they let us have, or they let us have access to. I went to your website. I want to say it's so beautiful. Is that the right title?
so beautiful, yes.
And it's so beautiful. I know that's just cliche, but it's this really soothing. It's got a little bit of country vibe. It's got a little bit of like
Pop, yeah.
sweet soul feeling. So like, was that one of the songs that you started creating once you get out to the ranch?
Yes, as one of the songs. And interesting because we went to Nashville, Pepper produced the songs. She told the musicians, she said, I want you to play this song as though it's a prayer, a beautiful country prayer. It's a little bit country, a little bit of pop, it's a little bit of everything. So, and it's amazing because now that it's hitting the charts, it's going country and contemporary. So it's doing a crossover thing, you
Yeah,
know.
well, I think that's real popular now, right? There's a lot of like the crossovers and there's a lot of fusion, and just seems like I think artists are finally just deciding to be artists and saying people are going to love what I'm producing the way that I need to produce it. And I hope that's true because yours is very beautiful.
Thank you. And I just wrote it from the heart. Using a structure that would, what they call the natural structure, more or less. But just I wrote it about a young girl that was in our lives for many many years, and it was a tribute to her beauty and just her wonderfulness. And we've known her since she was a little girl. She's grown up, gone to college, got married. But that's she kind of inspired us.
Yeah, it's lovely. So is that your partner Pepper with you today?
Right here she is, right here, Pepper J.
Hi. So do you guys do music together? Do you support him in some way, or how does that work for you guys?
I
Well,
yeah.
I've been producing his music now a little more than 30 years, and even 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, I've always tried to suggest that he do his original music. His problem was he was so popular as an entertainer doing other people's music. It
Yeah.
took a couple of years for me to convince him, just do your own music. People are going to love it.
You know, and that's a really big change. You know, I wish I would have realized it earlier in my career. But you know, if you're going to be in this business and you really want to get somewhere, I think no matter how good you are doing somebody else's songs, you're doing somebody else's songs.
Yeah.
And it isn't until you do your own that you trust in your own ability, in your own expression, and do your own thing. You're going to be appreciated. People are going to like you because you're good, but people will appreciate you so much more. I felt like people appreciate my music and me doing my own songs, listening to my own stories, because each song I perform is a story about my life, really.
So, what do you think held you back so long from like creating something that was entirely your own? I mean, you did say, like Pepper said, because it was real popular, it was easier to, you already had a following. But what do you think kind of might have been holding you back from just showing up and being you?
I think because it was never suggested to me. It just never occurred to me that I could do my own songs until she said, do your own songs. And I had to think, like, wow, that's so simple. Yeah, why not? I mean, and it was that simple. It's like, had she said that 20 years ago, you know, it made a difference. I don't know. It was just that simple. Do your own songs, uh, and
Well, his first album, My Early Life, are songs that he wrote in the early 90s and the 80s. The first one was 1966 when he was serving in the Army in Vietnam. So he had done a lot of writing, and he did it for us, and he played it right around the house and played it with friends. But for a living, he counted on singing other people's songs. But when we moved to the ranch about 5 years ago, that's when he just opened up, and this new album, Be the Smile on Your Face, from which So Beautiful comes, those are all recent songs. And you'll recognize the album cover because my goat, Ozzy, is on the cover.
Oh, I love it. Ozzy the goat, huh?
Yes.
Does
yeah.
he have anything in common with Ozzy the, Osbourne?
Oh
No,
yeah.
although when we did the Run video in the early 90s, the music video for his song Run on My Early Life, wasn't that Ozzy Osbourne
yeah.
set? We went into the studio, but it was all lit, beautifully lit, hundreds of $1,000s worth of lights, which we would have never had there. But I guess he just didn't show up.
So we
And the
used it.
guy said, "Well, you can use whatever lights are set up." And we went, "Whoa, let's change the video this way." And so, if you
How
ever
fun.
see a Run by John Michael Ferrari, a music video online, you know that was Ozzy Osbourne's set.
That's
You know, but
amazing.
there's a certain structure. I think also when you do your own music, how to take it to that level, and you know, and we never knew how to do that. It was just never occurred to me that I could do that. That we could. It never seemed real that oh my song could actually be on the radio on the charts or up there because it didn't occur to me how to do that.
But we learned, and it is, and so we're excited.
We learned it and she learned it and we took those steps. But you know, if you're going to be a musician, songwriter, and you want to take it to the higher level, go to Nashville, hire the best musicians, get into the studio, and then you have a chance to compete with the other people. You know, and that's what we did.
So what was the best thing for you about creating your first album that was your music?
Well, you know, my first album, which is out there, called My Early Life. What you're listening to, all those songs are basically I recorded in my home studio. They were never meant to be released, you know. And she said, I want to release these just as they are. Like, oh, gee, you know.
Don't do
And
that.
I thought, you know, they need work. I mean, I'm singing like just a couple times I get up in the morning, I just lay down a scratch vocal track and, you know, and I said, first I said, well, let me redo them and fix them up. And I thought, no, because it'd take me forever. It's just putting the brakes on everything. I said, release them like it is. It is what it is.
Because as a songwriter, the first album songs were songs that were put out there as a songwriter for other people to pick up. Like several have been picked up to different movies. His song Dust Off has been in movies and been honored by the Dust Off Association and different things. It wasn't until this album that we really released it as an artist, as a performing singer-songwriter. We were just so happy everyone liked the song.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing. I hopefully you get continue to get new fans, because I'm definitely a new fan. It's the first time unfortunately, the first time I've been able to listen to your music.
Thanks,
I think it's lovely. So new fan here. So what's next for you then? I mean, this is like a huge change, right? What's next for you guys on the ranch out there?
Just thinking back a few months ago, before we went to Nashville, it would have never occurred to us that we would be hitting the charts this quickly. I mean, you think about it, it's absolutely amazing. We get the charts, and she says, "You're up there with so and so and so and so," and oh my gosh, I'm next to Lady what's her name?
Lady Antebellum.
And Lady Antebellum. We're all on the same chart.
That's crazy, right?
I said, how did that happen? But because we don't have connections.
No, or money.
Or we're an independent artist, and if you look on there, it tells you who the artist is and who their record label they are, and go down, and then there's my name, John Michael Ferrari, Cappy Records, independent artist. The song has legs of its own, and we thought
Thank
that
goodness.
when we put it out there, it will do it on its own. People will listen to it and they'll promote it because they like the song.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's what's
obviously they have, right? I think it's amazing. If I were to have to pull like a theme out of this, or something for people to be inspired by, right? Is this an inspirational kind of podcast? It is so beautiful that you had this amazing career, and when you decided really to just show up and be authentic, that you didn't need all of that fancy stuff, right? Like beauty has its own reward sometimes. And
well, here's another thing, because we're over 50, and when you start getting 50, 60 years old, you start thinking, okay, it's time to retire. I've had my shot, and I did music. I never really got to where I would like to have gone, and so you stop, and all of a sudden you start again, and this happens. Never did we ever think at our age, when people are retiring, that you all of a sudden you get a new career. All of a sudden we're getting a radio play, that we're getting on the charts, we're getting different things.
And people asking him to perform, and like yourself, people asking, to be interviewed. We hooked up again with Core, Kore.
They're amazing. I love Core.
Amazing. We wrote a book many years ago about performance skills called Dynamic Song Performance, the Singer's Bible, and they had helped us promote that at that time. They're just wonderful people, and they introduced us to you.
Oh, wait, thank you. And I was going to say, I think you might be fibbing that you're over 50, because Pepper doesn't look over 50. I mean, come on, John.
Well, I was surprised because she told me she was 24.
I lied. I lied.
Yeah.
25, 26. Oh, that's amazing. So are you going to write some more?
Those people who are out there thinking they're getting too old, it's not true. You have a lot. Last year I got Singer-Songwriter of the Year, right?
Right. Singers out of the blue. Producer's Choice Honors honored him as Singer-Songwriter of the Year in 2019. And then this year, 2020, before we all closed down, when the Oscars were going, he was performing at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in the huge ballroom. And at the end, this woman came out with a huge, beautiful trophy and gave him Best Peace Song of the Year for a song like a rock and roll band that hasn't even been recorded yet. He just had performed it, and she had heard it earlier. So a lot of different opportunities are happening for him, and I'm so excited.
I love it. That's so beautiful, you guys. I'm so glad we got this chance to meet you. And hopefully we get a chance to stay in touch with you, and you keep making tons more music. So if you wanted to leave our interview with anything to say to the audience or to your audience, what would be some parting words of wisdom that you might share?
Well, it's
Never give up.
yeah. I mean, you always hear never give up, but here's the thing: there's a strategy into achieving your goal, and if you don't know the strategy, and the strategy like sometimes can be just trial and error. You keep trial and error, and we did a lot of that. But there is a strategy on attaining a certain level of success. And one of them is if you're going to compete with the people that you hear on the radio, then you have to get into a studio that actually uses those same musicians. When we went to Nashville, we used the musicians that you hear on all the country songs. And music, we had a musical director, we had Pepper producing it. So we got involved with the people who are really doing it, because that's how, if
They are
you,
so good. That was so exciting.
and if you listen to the music on this new release from what we have, you will hear the best production.
Isn't it beautiful?
I mean, it's Nashville. Like they say, they got the best musicians there, and it is an experience. And I don't think we would have gotten that had we taken our music to LA or New York. We would have got something different.
There's a lot of good studios in LA and New York,
Yeah.
New Orleans, all around the country. But the sound we were particularly looking for, because I really like slide guitar. The sound we were particularly looking for, it was really a Nashville type song. And I'm so glad that you're a new fan. Please connect with him. We're new to all this social media stuff.
Yeah,
We're
I
lucky-
went out, I liked your YouTube video, and
Oh,
I've gone
yay!
out and liked your
Right.
Facebook page, and you guys have got lots
Right.
of great stuff going up the charts, and that's being
Now
put
we're
out
on Spotify, John Michael Ferrari. Please follow him. We're brand new to Spotify.
But if anybody has any questions and they're unsure, contact us. We'll
Facebook Messenger.
we'll help you out. We'll tell you what mistakes we made and what worked for us. If you want to pursue that, if you're a songwriter and you feel like your career's not going anywhere.
Wonderful. That's so helpful to hear. I'm sure a lot of young artists or up and comers, it doesn't really matter when you're an artist, you can be new at any age. So definitely share your Facebook page. We'll share your YouTube links, and we'll make sure that everyone knows where to find you on Spotify. So hopefully you find a whole bunch of new fans, because I think that I love your sound. It's got this wonderful feel of kind of some of the country I grew up with, but also some of the newer stuff, that I like as well. So I'm just so blessed that you guys gave us the opportunity to interview you today. And I
Well,
hope
look for Ozzy, our goat, on the cover, and you'll know you found us.
I'll look for the goat on the cover. All right, well, you have a great dentist appointment.
Oh yeah, we're right
And
here
then-
at the dentist's office.
Yeah. And then next time you release another song, which I'm sure Pepper will make you do, just let us know so we can go ahead and promote you again. Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.